Hey, did you ever have a hamster as a child? My best friend had one, and I always wanted one, but my mom said never in our house. But I remember going over to my friend's house and watching the hamster get on that little metal wheel thing in his cage, and it would start running faster and faster and faster until one of two things would happen. Either it would fly off the wheel into the side of the cage exhausted, or the hamster wheel would actually break. I think of this image when I think of the pace of our consuming today. We're like that hamster on the wheel. We really don't know where we are going, but we are sure everybody else does. So we keep buying and buying and buying like everyone else. The problem is eventually something is going to break, either us or the entire system. Get this, every year Americans consume 1.2 billion trees to support our need for packaging, paper, napkins, bags. We use 2.5 million plastic bottles every hour. We represent about 5% of the world's population, but we produce 40% as Americans of garbage in our world. People, this is not just wasteful, it's unsustainable. But this is what our endless infatuation with consumption is doing to us. So friends, it's time. It's time to simplify your life. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this, the final session of our 5-session series called What's Enough. It's a series we put together to help us all talk about the one thing that brings our families, brings couples, brings individuals more anxiety, uncertainty, stress than anything else in America, and that's talk of our finances. I want to leave you today with one last thought. Most people are infatuated with the desire to constantly push upward, always striving for a greater lifestyle, always remodeling, always upgrading, always needing the latest and greatest thing. What if you were to say, I'm going to get off that hamster wheel. I'm not playing that game anymore. What if you were to embrace the idea of voluntarily choosing simplicity? Choosing to take a step down in lifestyle rather than constantly pushing upward. Here's what I guarantee, it would be good for your bank account. And there are countless ways that you can do this. The first would be this: choose to live below your means. Whenever you're making purchases, what if you were to look at a mid-grade product instead of the top-of-the-line product? Think slightly smaller than you had planned. When you buy a new car, choose a car that would improve your fuel economy over your existing car. Make it your goal to reduce your utility usage by 10%, for example, or set that thermostat back a couple of degrees when you're away or during the night when you're sleeping anyway. When you buy your next home, ask, do we really need all that square footage? There are countless ways you can live below your means. Secondly, consider this. Before making a purchase, ask yourself, do I really need this? And why do I want this? What's your true motivation for purchasing that brand new 36-foot ice castle, huh? Do I really need one more pair of shoes? If you ask yourself these questions, likely you'll find yourself wrestling with your true motives, and you'll decide that your reason for purchasing the item is not a great one. Here's a third idea. Use something up before buying something new. Wait until a replacement is actually necessary. From shoes to furniture to household items, appliances, cars, take care of the things you buy. Use them until they're empty, broken, or worn out. Then buy things that are made to last. Lastly, number 4, plan low-cost entertainment that enriches your family. What do I mean by this? When it comes to choosing entertainment for your family and friends, plan things that are simple and cheap. I mean, invite your friends over for a card tournament. Make a meal together. Sit around a bonfire. The truth is, you'll be amazed at how much more pleasure, how much more fun you derive from low-cost, simple activities. They're always more fun. Oh, and I have one more. Ask yourself, are there major changes that would allow me to simplify my life? Some of us are living beyond our means, and the stress, the anxiety, the worry, it's killing us. And we have it in our mind, though, that we can't possibly sell, for example, our house or our car. Yes, you can. Imagine if you were to sell that car and buy a smaller one with cash. Imagine downsizing your home. Do you really need all that square footage? Can you identify some significant changes in your life that could simplify your life? Folks, there are countless ways for you to simplify your life. And these are just a few of them. But here's the deal. Rather than always upgrading, what if you were to voluntarily say, hey, let's simplify. Let's get off the hamster wheel. I think maybe you'd come to understand more fully what Jesus meant when he said, take care, be on guard against all kinds of greed, for one's life does not consist of the abundance of possessions. When you, your family, you and your spouse, you choose to simplify, you'll experience less anxiety, less uncertainty, less fear, and less stress. And you'll know a whole lot more financial peace, a whole lot more joy, a whole lot more financial freedom. Gang, as we wrap up this series, I've got a couple more questions for you. Thanks for being a part of this. First question is this. Are there major changes you can make that would allow you to simplify your life? And secondly, what is one significant change you will strive to make in the coming year?